The ability to lob fire, molten hot magma, ice, darkness, light, and many other elements straight from your hands to an opponent and decimate them is certainly overpowered. Not enough.
But I'm not done yet!
Their physical body is made of the Logia fruit they ate. Hence, all physical attacks against them are useless. So, how can you win a fight against them? 3 simple ways. Use armament haki, another devil fruit or an element which is a natural counter to their Logia fruit. One thing to add before we start, as we saw awakened stone fruits already, we still don't know the powers of an awakened Logia fruit, or if they are awakenable. Is that even a word? Well, maybe because Logia fruits are the rarest of all fruits and we don't see them as much as other fruits. Makes sense, right? Or we already saw the awakened form at Punk Hazard. Or back to the after effects of it, as the whole island turned into ice and magma after the fight between Aokiji and Akainu.
Guess we'll have to wait for Oda Sensei's revelation in 2030.
But for today's video, we don't have to wait that long to rank and explain every Logia devil fruit released in the One Piece series so far. 13. The Yuki Yuki no Mi. I'm sorry, but someone has to occupy this spot. Monet. Glad it's you, though. The weakest Logia fruit on our list is the Yuki Yuki no Mi, the snow devil fruit. While having immense potential when used properly, it can be a formidable force. Its practical application shown to us in the anime left a disappointing impression about its combat effectiveness. Monet, the user of this fruit, harnessed this power in a creative way, making use of more tactics and strategies instead of straightforward force to win her battles. This was effective in some cases. However, I wouldn't believe that a comically large-sized flying snowball screen will be very effective against other opponents.
Attacks from the armament haki, sea stone, and fire type abilities are enough to rip through the user's defenses and deal considerable damage to the person.
Number 12. The Numa Numa no Mi. Speaking of drowning, the next Logia fruit we have on our list is the Numa Numa no Mi. And no, stop thinking that the name came from this song. The user of this devil fruit is Caribou. You know him, the dude with a long, wiggly tongue. Yes, that guy gives me the creeps. This devil fruit is able to grant its user the ability to control swamps and mud. We saw this in action when he used his powers to drown people in his created mud pools. The user can also transform freely into mud as well. Sound invincible? Not really, because beating it is quite simple. Get a bucket, trap the user in the bucket while they're in the mud form, and then sit back and watch as the poor chap can turn back into their original form. And mud is basically just dirt and water, so if a person comes along who can control either of the elements, this user is basically screwed. Number 11. The Mori Mori no Mi. Since we are on the topic of nature, the third Logia fruit we have is the Mori Mori no Mi, or as I like to call it, the wheat fruit. The powers of this fruit are currently in the possession of Aramaki, who is able to manipulate, turn into, and grow plant life out wherever he pleases. He can make trees move on will, attack alongside his minions, along with being able to produce tendrils from the ground to impale his enemies. Surely this one deserves a higher spot on the list, right? Nope. There are a lot of weaknesses to this fruit since it's all plants. Fire users can easily damage and incinerate the user by destroying the whole body at once, not allowing room for regeneration. Since this fruit is one of the more recent ones that have been introduced, not much can be said about its potential. I got to say though, the multiple impaling tendrils looked sick as hell. Number 10. The Gasu Gasu no Mi. This devil fruit lets the user turn into, well, gas. In the possession of Caesar Clown, this devil fruit can manipulate the gases in the area, meaning that people can be suffocated in it once the oxygen in it is removed by the user. This does have a limit though, as the area is not infinite. Also, the user can ignite the gas to produce explosions that are away from the main body. This means that igniting the main body can severely damage the user. Number 9. The Moku Moku no Mi. Now we have smoke users as well. Smoker, also known as the White Hunter, is the user of this devil fruit and it allows him to transform and use smoke on will. He can adjust the density, speed, and area covered by the smoke to attack enemies and blindside them. The Mera Mera fruit can counter this fruit in armament haki. Number 8. The Susu Susu no Mi. Despite its absurd name, the Susu Susu no Mi is another Logia fruit that grants the user the ability to turn into Sud at will. Karasu, its current user, he can freely create as many bodies as he wants with his Sud-like abilities. Because he is almost invulnerable to attacks, there are almost no known weaknesses that he possesses except armament haki. Number 7. The Suna Suna no Mi. Siri, play Enter the Sandman. Yep, the Sunasuna no Mi Devil Fruit allows the user to harness the properties of sand, creating blades of sand and making quicksand traps using the water that the user can sense in locations of sand. Its user is called Crocodile. I too do not see any relationship between the name and the power, don't worry. However, there lies its weakness as well, since water and other liquids can temporarily take away sand's graininess and make the user vulnerable to attacks for a short duration. Number 6. The Mera Mera no Mi. Moving into the more offensive devil fruits, we have the Mera Mera no Mi Logia, which was first wielded by Ace and is now in the hands of Sabo. Man find fire fruit. Man think fire strong. Man happy. The user can literally create a mini-sun. This makes the offensive potential of the fruit incredibly strong. So why the low ranking? Well, it is strong, but when pitted against certain other devil fruits users like Ice, there will be no clear winner. Not only that, but there is a devil fruit that better harnesses heat properties, which we will show in the later part of this video. That stuff can even sear through the defenses of the fire Logia fruit user. Yikes! Number 5. The Goro Goro no Mi. Next is the Goro Goro no Mi, the lightning Logia fruit currently wielded by certainly Barry Allen. Oh wait, wrong dude. This fruit's wielder is Enel, the hilariously buff, tall dude in nothing but oversized pants. Due to the nature of lightning, he can zip and zap across huge distances and appear to teleport to flank his enemies. And since Logia users can transform into their elements, nearly all kinds of attacks phase through him and he can avoid damage of nearly all kinds. What's worse is that the user of this annoying fruit can also restart their HUD if it stops in battle. It wasn't fair enough that these users have regenerative abilities, but resurrection? What the heck? Praise the Lord, as this fruit too has its weaknesses despite its unbelievable potential. Rubber can beat this dude, as it is naturally an insulator. This makes our stretchy boy Luffy the only one who can beat it naturally without haki. Number 4. The Pika Pika no Mi. Light powers, finally! The Pika Pika no Mi is a devil fruit used by Admiral Kizaru, aka Borsellino. And no, it was not named after a certain yellow rat. This fruit allows the user the ability to create weapons out of pure light. They can also use light rays as attacks, and since these travel exactly like light, dodging them is nearly impossible. The only known counter to this Logia is haki, as proved in the anime. This makes the Pika Pika no Mi one of the strongest Logia fruits on our list. Number 3. The Hia Hia no Mi. This is the popsicle Logia fruit we were talking about in the intro. This ice Logia is one of the most powerful fruits on the list due to its immense combat potential. It can freeze anything in a set radius and can be used to overcome the devil fruit user's inability to swim by freezing oceans. Aokiji, also known as Kuzan, is the original user of this fruit. He made sure its power was known by freezing 2 whole tsunamis. He also fought against akainu for 10 days. The aftermath of the battle left the entire island a barren location overrun by ice. Akainu was the only person capable of defeating Aokiji, although the standard devil fruit weaknesses also applied to him. Number 2. The Magu Magu no Mi. Sounds kinda like magma. You guessed it right, people! Buckle your asses, because this fruit is undoubtedly the absolute strongest devil fruit when it comes to raw offensive power. The Magma Logia devil fruit user is Sakazuki Fleet Admiral Akainu. In his fight with Aokiji, he dealt severe damage, destroying his arm and leg while he got away with just a scar. Due to the overwhelming heat and energy in magma, he seemingly has no weakness. It all boils down to who uses their abilities to the best, as shown when he got pummeled by Whitebeard. He can be sure that someone needs an extreme strong haki to defeat this guy. The Yami Yami no Mi. The strongest Logia devil fruit is currently accepted by all to be the Yami Yami no Mi, or the Dark Power devil fruit. It is in the hands of Blackbeard, and its powers are devastating. It can openly go up against all other devil fruit users and upon physical contact can nullify the usage of their powers. He can also create black holes that suck every entity into it. Living creatures aren't killed once absorbed into the black hole, but inanimate things get pulverized. That alone makes it the strongest Logia devil fruit on our list. Also, any damage that the user takes is doubled, which means that after enough damage, the user will pass out due to its immense pain. This sounds like Blackbeard will be the perfect opponent to Shanks, as Shanks doesn't have a devil fruit to nullify and can deal a lot of damage with his haki, which will also be doubled. Let us know which Logia fruit is your favorite and click on this video to see more.